Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to the Zen Garden experience, also known as pYanodon's. I'm excited to be back and playing. I've been away for a few days, had some stuff going on in life, and took a little trip, and now I'm back, and we made some acetylene. I do have one thing I want to talk about first, which is the pumping rates and the whole 6,000 per second thing that I've talked about before and such. Turns out, well, two things. Thing one is I was correct in what I was talking about for vanilla Factorio. Since 2.0, there is a 6,000 per second limit because there's a 100 per tick limit on fluid transfers. pYanodon's, however, changed this number. I didn't know that it had changed this number until just now. And then there was a bug in how pYanodon's had changed the number. So there was kind of a double whammy. So thing number one is Pi changed the number from, it was 6,000 a second in original Factorio, which is 100 per tick, right? Pi said to themselves, I don't know who, but they were like, okay, that's not fast enough for the stuff we've got going on in this. So we want it to be 30,000 a second, which would be 500 a tick, right? But instead, they accidentally set the number to be 30,000 per tick, which then was 1.8 million per second, which is an absurd number, right? That's 300 times bigger than vanilla. So that's why, I don't know if you guys remember that test I did with the pump. That's why the pump was never slowing down, even as it was getting full on the output end or empty on the input end. It still wasn't going below 12,000 a second. That's because 30,000 per tick is the baseline, and then that gets multiplied by the fullness of the pipe. And, you know, 12,000 is less than 1% of this. So that means the pipe had to have been like 0.5% full before on the filling end of the pump, before it would start filling with less than 12,000 a second. So it basically was never slowing down. But that's been fixed. We just updated to the new version, which is this one, which is only 5 times faster than vanilla, and this should show the pump slowing down as soon as the input is less than about 1/3 full, or the output is more than about 2/3 full, because 12,000 is about 1/3 of this. So let's test this, because I'm curious to see, now that that's been modified, if this actually does what we think it will do, and my understanding is correct. Because I was pretty sure my understanding of the systems were correct, and so it just wasn't making any sense. But part of the problem is I also didn't know that Pi had buffed the numbers in the first place. And then the other part of the problem is Pi buffed the numbers way more than they thought they did. So let's fill this bad boy with tar, and we should be able to place a pump and then some power with a substation and accumulator. And then when we connect these, we should see the pump slowing down to less than 12,000 a second as soon as this tank gets more than 2/3 full. So it should stay at 12,000 until this gets to, I don't know, about 150,000 or something. And then we should see the pumping speed start to slow down right about soonish. There it goes. Now it's slowing down. Perfect. Okay, that's what we expected. We expected it to be even more drastic because I didn't know Pi had buffed the numbers. But now it's actually working as intended. Perfect. Okay. See, you can see the pumping speed slowing down, and it actually takes a lot of pumps in parallel to finally fill up the fullness of the, destination pipe network. Okay, that makes me feel so much better. I'm not crazy. I was lacking some information, but I'm not crazy. It is how that works, and it was working the way I said it was working, just with the wrong numbers. The numbers were so big, it didn't look like anything was changing. And that was a bug. All right, there you go. So now you know. And we should see the same effect if I were to flush the tank a couple times, it should start slowing down from the source being too low as well. Yeah. So because it's not full enough on this end, the pump can't go at full speed, even though the destination is empty. And this is what I was talking about originally, is that emptying out a network is kind of difficult. And at some point, the rate that things can move into buildings is going to be so low that something like a glassworks might not get enough fuel to run itself. And that's what, you know, I had been originally talking about. What is good to know is that the minimum... Uh-oh. That might not be true, actually. I was going to say the minimum is probably still 0.1 units per tick. But that occurs at an even lower fill amount than I had previously thought. Because pi is still 5 times faster of a fluid transfer at any given fill amount than vanilla was. So that means if the pipe network is 0.1% full, previously that would have been 6 units a second. Now it's going to be 30 units a second still. So, yeah. It's a little confusing, but the idea is that if you do have this idea, which I think a lot of people are going to, which is like a bunch of glassworks and smelters all sucking from one fluid fuel network, you want to not have any tanks in that network. The fewer pipes you have, the better. The fewer tanks you have, the better. Because the smaller the network is, the faster it can drain the last few units out of it. If that makes any sense. So, like, at some point I'll probably go through and try to reduce the amount of pipes in this whole system. In fact, I don't know why I have this tailings pond here anymore. That was for the tar that we're no longer using. So I'll just do that. Okay, cool. So our first project today is iron crushing. That was on the list, and I do think we need to make that happen. So let's make some jaw crushers happen. I need more steel and iron, it seems. I think it's time, maybe before we do that, I think it's time to automate steam engines. I think it's time to automate steam engines just because you need them all over the place. I might also automate stone furnaces. We need pipes and plates. Maybe down here, where we've got access to 3 of the 4 things I need. And then we can put some iron on a belt. And go steam engine. I do think at some point I'm going to figure out how to do a sushi mall. I don't know for sure what I'm doing with that, but it seems like a reasonable idea. And with stone, I don't have stone over here yet. I guess for now I'll just keep handcrafting stone furnaces, because they're used in a lot of places too. I'm just gonna craft a bunch, and then I won't need to carry around as much stone. Because a lot of things use boilers. Like if we look at the building list here, where's the building list? These guys. Burner mining drills, that uses stone. That one doesn't. This one uses stone furnaces. This one uses burner mining drills. This one uses burner mining drills. Quenching tower? I don't know what that uses. This guy, no. This one, no. This one, no. That one, no. Okay, maybe, I mean, it's a decent amount. Tar processing units, washers don't. It's a decent amount. I guess it's not all of them. Anyway. Back to making crushers. Let me grab some more plates here. Oh, we don't have music. We don't have music. Get that going real quick. All right. There we go. I also think the machines might need to get turned down just a smidge again. They just tend to be so loud in Pi. Alright, what was I doing? Making jaw crushers. I don't even know how many I'm gonna need. They crush 2.5 per second. Oh, we're gonna have to deal with stone. Ugh. Right. Okay. Hold on. A new iron plate. Wait. Yeah, I guess that's what we want. Input 15. Input. Well, there we go. Input 15 iron ore. That makes 9 process. 9 process makes 3 plates. And the difference is basically none. We need the slightly less. That's what I was trying to figure out, is if we needed more. This bug is still in here. Oh, I got him. I got him. Mr. Miyagi confirmed. Sorry for the violence on stream. And yeah, so we need slightly less stone furnaces. Yeah, I finally fixed the bug, yes. Slightly fewer stone furnaces for the same amount of input iron ore, and I just get more iron plates out for free, basically. So I just need 3 jaw crushers per half belt of iron. I have 4 half belts of iron going, which would be 12 jaw crushers for all of this. Problem is I have no room for all of this. Maybe up here. Oh, it's not Hellmod rant time. It's actually Hellmod. Well, I mean, I'll slightly apologize. There is a way around a couple of the issues. I did get a response from Helfima about a lot of the things I had ranted about. Some of them are things I think that won't get fixed, unfortunately, because it's one of those situations where it's like, it's either extremely difficult to code or it's not a bug in the first place, even though user experience wise, to me, it sort of feels like a bug. One of them, though, that there is a very easy workaround for, that I just want to point out because you guys might need this, is if you have, because I don't know if you guys remember, but we were looking at trying to put all of these into the same block and it wasn't really working right. The solution is actually not that bad. What you have to do, it's kind of annoying. I don't love it, but it's workable. What you have to do, let's just copy, let's just make a new line real quick. So yeah, let's just say we were making 3 circuits a second and we wanted air core inductors and we wanted high power resistors, both in the same block being provided. Well, we already know the issue. The issue is that even if we link it, it only links one of them properly and then the other one's the wrong number. And then if you link this one instead, it makes that one the right number, but now this one's too few because the ratio of how many each recipe produces is actually the issue here, is not the same as this ratio. And why would it be? But what you can do you're like, wait a second, that just worked. And it does. What you have to do is you have to link, it's called the pivot is the official term. You have to pivot the greater number to be the correct one. And then you can link the other intermediates here. So basically whichever number is bigger, that's the one that you control click. I don't know if it works on this level. Yeah, you have to control click it here. Or basically set the main pivot as the larger number. And then from there, it can produce extra of the things that aren't the main pivot, is basically the idea. Basically, it calculates exactly how many it needs to make of the main thing, and then you can make more of the other things. But what it can't do, and I sort of understand this, I mean, I would love for it to not work this way. I'd love for it to be able to do either, but it sort of makes sense, because if you imagine, it's like, well, I need to make 6 of those things, and then it's not in the code for it to figure out how to make less of these other things, because then it's not making enough of the main thing it wants to make. So basically the idea is it has to have a main thing that it wants to make, and then it can make more of other stuff, but it can't make negative of other stuff. So that means you have to set the larger number to be the main thing, then you can additionally link the things it needs more of, and then it makes the right number of both. So there you go. It's not that bad. It's only a couple clicks. Kind of annoying, but at least it's a workaround for a very vital functionality, in my opinion. So like, I'm really glad there's a way to make that work, because in my mind, you need to be able to provide multiple products in the same block. So there you go. Not really a rant, but more an actual solution. The fix is just installing Factory Planner. I don't like Factory Planner. Maybe I'll try it once, because you guys keep pestering me about it, but I just never really liked it. I didn't like the UI comparatively to Helmod. It can't do the ingredient input thing very well, or at all. I don't know exactly which one. I saw you talking about Factory Solver, Dave. It didn't look very good to me. Anyway, what was I doing? Jaw crushers? I have 6. I need a lot more than that. So let's grab some steel, which I keep in a random box right here. Okay, so there's 12 jaw crushers. Where am I going to put these? So for iron crushing, we could do it up here. Where am I going to do copper crushing? Down here? I don't even know. I mean, this iron patch is starting to run dry. Maybe I should just not. Maybe I should just wait until that patch runs out and we come from maybe over here. I can do the iron crushing. The ultimate planning tool, Microsoft Excel. Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not quite skilled enough in Excel to do all the things that Helmod does, though I do think it's probably... I don't know if it's fully possible to do all the things Helmod does. If you get into the scripting in Microsoft Excel, you certainly could. But without scripting, you could probably not quite get there. Okay, so that's 6. So we're gonna need double that. The other problem is the stone output. Man, I'm already tired of stone furnaces. But foundries are so power hungry and slow comparatively. It's just not worth it. And when I say slow, I mean like a foundry is not even faster than a stone furnace. You can make iron plates in a foundry. So I could just use a huge chunk of these, but I couldn't make that much power. It's not worth it. But only being able to deal with a half belt of iron is also kind of sad. But yeah, I think we can just route all the iron ore up here, crush it, and route it back down. But this feels a little inefficient. I should have left space for crushing. Oh well. So then if we, let me delete this block. So if we are crushing the iron, we end up with 12 per second. So we have fewer outputs than inputs, which means if I have a full belt in, then I will have less than a full belt out. And the rate is 2.5 in, which is 4 inserters. And the rate out is 2, which is 3 inserters. I could filter them, but the problem is it's more than a half belt of processed iron ore, so that doesn't really do much for me, unfortunately. So I think I'll just stick with the simple solution. Just this. Oh, I wanted to flip where the inserters were. But it also flipped the belts. All right, there we go. Okay, so we've got that, and then halfway through we're gonna have to switch 1, 2, 3. What side of the belt stuff is on? That. And then copy this. Oh, thank goodness for bots. Hello and good evening. Garuta Cool, no. Space Age does not go with pYanodon's. It is 2.0 compatible, but not. What is going on? Sometimes these bots do the weirdest dances. I think in general they're more powerful than nanobots, but once in a while they are quite derpy. Quite derpy indeed. All right, and then we need a light. Boom. Of course, the power poles can't go across the building because this is pYanodon's after all. And buildings are the size of something big. They're big. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so then we're gonna have to reroute so much iron ore. Oh, I'm not happy about this. What even is happening? Originally, I had 5 belts because one of them went to steel, and there were 4 that were going there. Having no splitters and no priority splitters is making me nuts. This is a Zen Garden experience, though. I am at peace. Peace. All right. So what I actually want to do is reroute all the iron. So that's here. I don't want to mess with the ash belts, but the iron belts can be messed with. And then we want to route those up to guess I could just do, no. Something like this. There's one belt. Problem is there's more than 2 belts. Is that a problem? Is there even more than 2 belts? That says 31, but I think it's counting all the empty ones. Or maybe not. Okay, no, there is 2 belts, but barely. Pretty soon there's gonna be less than 2 belts. So then I guess the problem is it's not balanced. This one's pretty empty right now. This one right here. So mixing it with that one is actually a good play. So then this is pretty close to balanced until the patch is empty. And this will be 2 belts of iron ore. You think I can't be sure I'm getting the correct numbers? Maybe. I've seen a lot of things with Hellmod, but what I have not seen yet is actually a wrong calculation. I've seen it link some numbers wrong once in a while, but that's super obvious when it's the wrong number because it's literally like it correctly calculates that what you're doing is not meeting the need for what you need to be doing. So it, like what I haven't seen it do is add 2 plus 2 and give me 5, which would be the true, you know, issue. That would be hard to detect. At least with the frustrations I've had with Hellmod, it's been things where it's kind of obvious it's not doing what I want it to do. It's not like it's been secretly screwing me up. Now, I'm not saying that that's impossible. I'm just saying it hasn't done that to me yet. Even with the new version with all of its quirks. I think maybe at first it was, but some of the worst things about the 1.0 release have definitely been ironed out. And I say the 1.0 release, it's now technically 2.0, but that's just because Factorio went to 2.0. So this is still essentially Hellmod 1.0 compared to Hellmod, you know, 0.1 or whatever it was. Okay, so now we've got a lot of crap. We need to sort out this stone. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done this before splitters. There's so much stone to sort out. I mean, stone is good. We need stone. Sort of. How much stone are we making? 3 per second per... yeah, no, Dave. I do know what you're talking about. That... I do know why it was adding those. I still don't love that it does, but it's just... Basically, if you give it an extra recipe, if you give it something it doesn't have a need for, it's just going to make it an extra recipe per second. It's just what it defaults to, rather than 0 per second, which in my mind is what would make more sense. It is just one of those this is how it works situations. It's not going to show up. That particular issue that you're talking about won't show up most of the time because most of the time you're not linking something that isn't needed, if that makes sense. So it only shows up if you're not needing copper cables anyway. If you need the copper cables, it'll give you the right number. And if you don't need the copper cables and then you link it when it wasn't linked before as an intermediate, it will add 1 recipe's worth of copper cables per second as an additional output, which is weird. But I'd call that a quirk, not a... It's not like it's calculating, you know, 100 plus 2 is not 102. It's just making 2 that you don't really need in that context. All right, so we're bringing down... Where do I bring it down is the problem. I might have to bring it down on this end, which I really don't want to do. This is such a mess. Oof. I am gonna undo this thing. This was really gross. And then... what is this belt of coke? I don't have any memory of this. Wait, is that the coke is that the new coke or the old coke? Oh, it's new coke, I think. Yeah, that's the new coke. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that wasn't the old coke belt. Okay, and then the ash. That's an ash input belt. I'm just gonna, I want to redo all of this. The problem is I don't want to screw it up. I was like, what's this belt? That's the iron ore belt. Okay, so this is my steel iron ore belt. This actually does need some iron. So why don't we steal? Ha! We're stealing for steel. And I don't know how much. We'll steal that much for steel for now. Eventually we'll get a dedicated belt for steel. For now, that's good enough. Right, let me get rid of these. And then this is starting to look a little better. A little cleaner. This is ash. And this is iron. Okay. And that was iron from iron oxide. I don't know if I need that anymore. Maybe. Ash Mountain is in the way right now. Do I need to move Ash Mountain? It's in a pretty good spot in terms of locality. I might leave Ash Mountain here for now. Steel might be in a bad spot. Maybe I'll move steel over. Let's move steel like up here. And then we'll move the limestone above it. And then that way we have a little bit more room around Ash Mountain to maneuver things, which will be good. And our inventory cries out in pain and suffering because of what I'm doing. All right, so then coke. That's unnecessary. That is water, which is necessary. But we're going to be using our new schmancy advanced fluid handling pipes to bring water up. Oh, and I need a lot more power poles. When do I get medium power poles again? Is it soon? So what is wrong with this icon? Is that the old icon? What is going on here? It's chromium and pi science 1. Okay. So it's not actually that bad. All right, and what was this belt? Oh, that's the steel output belt. That feels completely unnecessary to me. I'm pretty sure I can figure out a method to have it all on one side of the building. I could do sushi. I could do sushi. That would be intense and awesome. Or instead of sushi, I think I didn't have adjustable no, we started with adjustable inserters. I feel like there's a way where this is just really simple. Can't I just do this? And then this? And then we do bing, bang, boom, bing, bang. And then we just make sure iron's on the one with a 90-degree inserter. Yeah, I think that works great. And then a power pole. Probably need two, otherwise they won't connect. They still don't connect. All right, we'll go with one then. And then boom, boom. All right, so we need the iron. Over there. And then the coal goes up to meet with the limestone. Did I disconnect power? Probably did. It looks okay. Do I need space age to be able to use elevated rails? Why can't I remember the answer to this? I think elevated rails are space age only. Why can't I remember? All of the new train interrupt stuff is Factorio 2.0 and available to everybody. But I think elevated rails are space age only. So that's coke. This is the iron. And then we need light. There we go. Okay, and that's steel. Are we missing something? 0.8. Oh. Right, we need way more soil than, well, not soil, but limestone than that. We need one per. No, not quite one per. We need like 0.8 machines per. So, alright, I guess it can't count ghost machines. So I can add two more. Yeah, that works out perfectly. Okay. So two more of those. And that should do it. 100 water a second, easy. Cool. Yeah, Mello, that's the thing. Like, I can't remember. I know it's a separate mod that you can enable or disable, but I can't remember if it's included if you don't purchase Space Age or not. I'm also a little worried about this, because this is possible that stone gets free. I guess what I could do Okay, let's read this belt. And then enable, disable this belt. And we're gonna say if stone is greater than 0. No, if stone equals 0, then you're good to go. So if there's any stone on these belts immediately stop. Which would mean these inserters could grab the last of the stone. So then that's that belt of stone that we need to handle. We don't really... Oh, we can make saline water already. So we can void stone pretty easily now. No, not pretty easily, just kidding. This is a really slow recipe. And I know it sounds weird to talk about voiding stone. It's just so far from where I need it right now. Oh, my stone patch is almost empty. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Cool, 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 cool. Cool. I've mined 350,000, so I'm already 3/4, well, 2/3 of the way done with my stone patch, and we don't have more for miles. Where's our other stone patch? Have I not found one yet? Okay, this is where this type of search is useful. Oh no. We don't have another stone patch close by. That's gonna be a problem. When do I get caravans? Oh, we have to do all those things. We have to do Vrauks first. And then we have to start chopping some Vrauks into pieces to get brains to feed our caravans. Well, it's probably good we're getting some extra stone this way. I shouldn't waste it then. Okay, hold on. This is wasting space, just straight up. I don't know what I'm doing. This should go like, I guess right here. I don't like doing little squiggles like that, but that's fine. Okay, and then we want to bring down the processed iron ore to over here. I'll do this. Makes me kind of want to align that like this way. And then we can go like a this. Alright, we're getting there. Stone unplayable. Yes, my stone is unplayable. Apparently. You know, there's something wrong with every map. We did look for things. I know. Oh, that's rare earth. Okay, I was like, wait, there's stone. I do know there's another stone patch. I remember looking for one. So it's not that much further, but it's far enough that it's going to be annoying. That much I am sure of already. Okay, where am I doing things? Here. So we need to load. I have no idea what this carriage and belt is doing. It's going up, over, down, stopping, getting offloaded onto this belt, and then snaking back down to here. What is happening? And what is this belt? This is an ash belt. Okay, ignore the ash belt. That's... So the carrot... This is a generic fuel belt that happens to be fully loaded with Keragen. No, this is a Keragen only belt. But never for a moment could anything other than Keragen be on this belt? I mean, I could literally just do this. As far as I can tell, it's pretty much the same thing. I'm like not doing anything with this Keragen belt. I don't know what happened here. This is a product of who knows what the heck happened over time. I couldn't tell you. So that'll save some belt spaghetti. That Keragen was just going on a magical journey, wasting all this space. Okay. Now, I do need to figure out... Maybe in here I can figure out how to offload some Keragen onto these belts. We're getting there. We've got our processed iron here. Why is that not working? Because I don't have these belts connected? Yeah. I kind of want to see what happens when the stone backs up. Yeah, elevated rails don't have to have space age enabled. I did know that. Same with quality, because they're separate mods. It's more a question of, do you have to buy space age to get elevated rails, which probably you do. Now the other nice... No, I lied. I was gonna say the other nice thing is we won't need to run as many furnaces. But we will. We already did the math. We do need to run about 18 furnaces constantly. So for the same amount of fuel, we get more plates, or for the same amount of plates, we will need less fuel to get the same amount of plates. But the problem is we still, if we're running full speed, we do need just as much Keragen. And we already determined we need 2 Keragen a second for the full line of 20. Which is 2 inserters per set of 4. And then processed iron ore wise, that's 4.5 per half set, which is 5, 6, 7 inserters. What a mess. Maybe it's worth... Here's a crazy idea. Is it worth redoing this blueprint? Like, rather than half loading each, what if we just had 2 separate belts? It's not gonna work without long inserters. Yeah, then never mind. We'd either have to space out the furnaces or we'd have to have long inserters, which I do not. So just kidding on that. I guess we just need to do something. Just do something. Progress is progress. I am excited for belt immunity equipment. That's one of those things I could see myself actually being willing to cheat in and just have one. I really don't like belts moving me. Though I do like people movers, that's the only time. And given how far into the game red belts are, people movers aren't that big of a thing in pYanodon's. Because by the time you have red belts, you've already got other ways to move faster and all sorts of quality of life researches and stuff. Yeah, there's just no way to easily split this, is there? Uh-oh. No, there's not. I mean, I can do this sort of thing, but then I need, you know, so many that it doesn't really save me that much space. There's 7. And then I could do this, and this, and that. We're really getting chaotic at this point, but it's okay. Now we need Keragen coming up and intersecting in all of these spots. Underground split plus 8 inserters? I don't know what you mean by underground split. Exactly. Alright, this is disgusting. Ah, we're out of belts. This is disgusting. I don't know what I'm doing. This is a Zen garden. This is how it feels to be Zen. I do need to lay some more stone brick, I guess. Here, let's grab some steam engines. Make sure we got enough inserters. Grab a bunch of belts. Undergrounds. Small parts. Okay. Then we've got all that, and now we connect up all these 4, which should work. It's really gross. I'm gonna have to pick up all the stuff on the belt. Oh my gosh. I might need to change my hotkey back to F. It's really hard to move my finger over to G and then also do the movement keys. Sideways underground. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I could use a sideways underground to block, but you can also just side load, which is what I went with. Dump chest. Surely I've got a dump chest around, but I can't seem to find one. I don't even know. Need more inventory slots. Oh. Oh, I need circuits for that. Right. And we're not longifying inserters for a while. Okay, never mind. How much would it cost me? 600 packs to get inventory? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Okay, now the other problem is these are all corrupted. I'm just gonna deconstruct them all and reconstruct them all. And by corrupted, I mean they have iron ore inside of them. And because you need 8, it's just easier to empty them all out first. What's up, J7? Good to see you. Okay, now these should be functioning. Now the stone is going to be backed up, which is probably why we're not seeing any processed iron come out. And so now we got to bring that stone down to all the way down to here. And that's going to reduce our Keragen supply. I need to make sure we don't forget about that. Okay, so here's stone. I'm gonna do something simple like this, and then this, and then that, and then we read these two, and this is only working if stone is less than 5. And that should work. Okay, so then this belt. Stone can come down. This is bad. I don't like what I'm doing here, but I don't know. I mean, what else could I do? I could belt it like all the way around everything. Maybe. I will say, this is a Zen garden. It's beautiful, but I am tired of not having splitters. I am excited to have splitters. I maybe should have rushed splitters a little harder. I think it's always hard. It's always hard with pie. We've talked about this before, but there's this idea of like, if you rush something, it can be helpful because then you don't have to live without it for as long, and then you can build better stuff once you've finished the rushing of it. So it, like, in some ways it would be wait, this is the belt I want stone to come to. Like, in some ways, if I had just not connected as much stuff, not automated as much stuff, and just tried to get circuits as fast as possible, we would already have circuits. And it's like, maybe I should have done that. Only in Pi could you see a person cry for splitters 20 hours into the game. Exactly. Because I think last time I played, I had splitters in like 15 hours. And we're still... I mean, we've got a lot of what we need for circuits now, but we're still kind of far. I need to set up SAP. I mean, I guess at this point we're pretty close. I need a I guess moondrops is the big thing, and 10. Everything, and lead. But lead and 10 are both pretty short individually. I just need to start mining them and then smelt them. And then apart from that, I guess it's just moondrops. So we're not that far from circuits. Well, exactly, Alor. That's part of the problem, is you can follow that logic all the way to the end of the game. So it does kind of turn into this situation of like, there's no right answer, you know? It's tricky. Okay, it does seem like this is working properly now. Beautiful. All right. I'm checking iron crushing off the list. All of that to save some iron ore. Which means this patch will last me a little bit longer. And when we get a new patch, we'll just have to route the iron ore to here and to the steel. And when do we get steel? Another method for steel. Is it not until we have molten? Yeah, it's not until we have molten steel, which is a long time from now. Oh, it's so good once you get it though. But yeah, we're gonna be making this steel recipe for a long, long time. Like the one I'm on now, because this is not gonna happen anytime soon. All right, that's fine. All right, sweet. So iron crushing is done. Let's get a little screenshot here for the gram. And what's next? I don't need zinc. Let's do 10. So 10 needs steam. So we'll get some fluid miners. 2, 3. I need pipes. That's gonna be 4, 5, 6. Feels like enough for right now. Yeah, Charleston. Basically, the belt won't run if there's any stone on it. So that, because what I've been doing, it's basically a solution so I don't have to have 2 sets of inserters to filter. Because this is what I've been doing, where a belt that has ash and iron on it says iron gets offloaded with inserters on this side, ash gets offloaded on this side. That way, I could never have iron on this belt or ash on that belt. But it's kind of annoying because then you need 2 sets of inserters and all this extra space. So instead, you could leave the iron on this belt and just have the belt stop if there's any ash on this last one. And that way, the ash will always get offloaded before it starts moving again. It is a circuit solution. All right, we also still have this kind of screwed up here. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna rebind this control. I can't live with this. G, that needs to be F. And what did I change F to? I changed it to adjust inserter. I think I can change that to alt click now. I think they fixed that. I think I can do it with alt click. There had been a bug where if you were placing one, nope, the bug is still there. Uh-oh. I thought they fixed this bug. It shouldn't place a second inserter. I don't think. That's the bug that was there, is that it places a second inserter. So maybe I'll have to see if the mod maker can fix that. Okay. And then this is all good. This one is all good. All right, there we go. Lots of Keratin in boxes, but that's fine. Mamma Mia, you said, is the basic inserter in tier 1 belts any good in mid to late game? I mean, you generally switch to using the yellow inserters. You do really wish you had red belts sooner, for sure. But you don't get tier 2 belts for a long time, so it kind of doesn't matter. How did this happen? I don't know what happened here. I screwed something up. Maybe I messed with this belt for a moment. The way that it's configured right now, that doesn't seem to be possible, so it must have been something I did a while back. These are empty. Okay, so steam. We need to run steam all the way out there. Let's go up and over. which means I need a lot more belts. We're gonna need more eye extensions. The eye extensions are up here. And then belts. Hopefully that's enough. I guess we'll see. And then we'll need to generate steam on demand for all sorts of things over time. So I'll probably have one big steam network eventually. And we'll just have it here. Where am I gonna make circuits? Oh, my base is... It's spread out in all the wrong ways. I feel like I'm gonna need to go across the base with multiple items no matter where I put circuits at this point, which is kind of sad. But hey, we got 5 more inventory slots, so that's nifty. Any tips on editing? I mean, whoa. What did I just... I don't think I just hit the hotkey for tape line. I don't know how I got that first tape line. I was trying to get the deconstruction planner and somehow got tape line. I mean, it's editing tips are hard because there's a million different editing styles, and so it's like, good luck. I mean, you know, it just depends on what you're going for and such. So generic tips are really hard for content creation because there's so many different types of content creation. Going with this. No! You know what? I'm gonna do that thing. Who was it? Someone was saying this. We're gonna go to width of 3. And that way, if I move my mouse over one tile, it won't copy it again. So it's a little easier to go in a straight line. It's a very good idea, actually. See, like I just ran into a tree and it didn't screw me up. That was very nice. Oh boy, we got a covered patch of tin. Can't have that. I'd do a width of 100. Well, you may want to make a, you know. No, I don't think 100 would be good. maybe like 9, but 100 seems a bit excessive. All right, so there's our tin patch. Right. I have to worry about ash. Gosh, freaking... Do I have my blueprint for this? Yeah. Something like this. Alright, let's flesh out this blueprint properly. So, what exactly is happening here? So, fuel... Fuel comes in. Is there a way to do ash? No, there's not. Okay, so fuel comes in. I forgot we needed fuel. This is a huge mess. Oh no. Can I do fuel from water? I'm straight tempted to see if I can do fuel from nothing. Can we do a fuel from nothing build yet? If we can, is it terrible? It might be terrible. I'm gonna try it. Not here though. All right, so I doubt this works. Oh, you can do logs from literally nothing as well if you don't want to use water. But I'm definitely going to use water. So we've already got steam out here. Bringing water is not that hard. We do get a lot more fuel value from that, right? 4 megajoules. So you're going from 16 megajoules to 40 megajoules? Yeah. At only an 8 megajoule cost. So that's worth it to chop the logs up. Tree seed link up. What just? Oh, do I need a matrix solver? No, I just need to set the output. And moss basically comes from nothing as well. No, I need coke. This is getting worse by the minute. I guess I could burn the wood to make coal. It's getting pretty dicey, but I could do it. This one. Okay, so then we need module max moss and module max trees default. So what does this all get us to? This gets us to 16 megajoules of wood for 28 megawatts. That's not gonna do it. That's not gonna do it. If I do the turd upgrade to double, what turd did I already research? I guess it's not turd. What actually? Okay, what do you type? Fastwood forestry one. Because selective cutting heads would get me twice as much wood, which would get me a net positive, but yeah, this just isn't gonna do it. And most of the power is going to growing the trees. Technically, we have a little bit more power here if I did my tar processing nonsense, but that's just so much ridiculous work. We will eventually have builds that can make stuff from nothing, but this is not the time to do it. And technically it wouldn't even work yet. So sadly, that's not it. Moondrop to CO2. Yeah, we don't have moondrops yet. Where is that one? Is that a turd one? I can't remember. Is that the moondrop turd? Yeah. Yeah, that one. As far as I know, there are huge arguments. We should start researching this eventually. There are huge arguments on the Pi Discord about which moondrop upgrade to get. It's kind of like 3 different camps of people. Hey Lord, no. We had nowhere near enough ash here. The ash wood requires like tons of ash. It's like 5 ash per log or something. Can't remember. What is it? Yeah. Yeah, 5 ash per log. So 10 per seedling. So it'd be 15 ash per second for this build. Anyway, all that to say, what that means is we're gonna have to belt fuel all the way out here, which is just my favorite thing in the world. I'm going to jump in my car. Oh no, we don't have a car. Oh no, I'm not gonna do that. What's my search? Alt F. Where are you at, buddy? Oh, he's over by the logs. Okay. Chop trees and get the wood that way. Yeah, I mean, but then it's not automated and it wouldn't last. Oh boy. This is the Zen Garden experience we always wanted. You just ran power lines and water? How would that get me fuel? The problem is I need solid fuel to run the fluid miners. What I'm doing right now is I'm gonna go check if there just happens to be some raw coal, like to the west here. A little closer than my base. Yeah, the Mark II fluid drills are only use power. But we're a very, very long ways away from that. Okay, that's the rare earth. Found more. Excuse me. Iron ore right here, which I guess is good, but we don't need it right now. There's some quartz. Copper and stone. Here's the stone patch. Oh, there's two stone patches. Okay. Here's the stone. All right. Any raw coal, though? Raw coal. Right here. Nope. There's an exolite and more quartz. Never mind, I guess. Another patch of stone. More uranium. I think that's the only green thing. Well, I guess zinc and nickel are both kind of green, but they're not that green. Ancient remains, nickel, oil sand. So many different ores. None of them where I need them to be. All right, well, we'll just have to belt over a bunch of raw coal or whatever. It's fine. Of course. Of course. Let me through. I have a driver's license, I promise. Pitch to coke. Doesn't that need steam? That needs steam, and it makes a bunch of other things that I wouldn't want to waste. I guess I already have steam over there with tin. So that would be a solution, is to pipe over some pitch to the tin patch, but then I end up wasting these things by not dealing with them, and that actually is a pretty big waste too. What are some of the things I checked for? Basically, I checked for tin and quartz to be semi-close to the... I forgot about this patch. Tin and quartz you want to be semi-close to the base because you need those super early. I checked for additional iron and copper patches because your starting ones are never enough. I checked for a secondary raw coal patch because you need a lot of that. I made sure that like borax, what's it called? Chromium, zinc, and nickel were all within reach because you need those, and titanium are all fairly early stuff. Past that, it kind of doesn't matter. Niobium is also fairly early, but I mean, when I say early, I'm talking like first couple 100 hours early. really it's 10 in quartz that are the earliest, as we've already seen. And then aluminum, you have a starting patch now. You didn't used to. And then like titanium, zinc, and nickel are fairly early as well. So other than that, it's nice to have a salt rock. I think I have one. I mean, they never spawn super close as far as I could tell, but I have some nearby-ish because salt becomes a big deal at some point. And then, let me get this belt going. So we've got belt in, and then a belt of fuel. Salt and sulfur is another thing. There are these big sulfur rocks, and you can make sulfur a variety of ways, but it would be really annoying to not have a sulfur rock, because they're super handy. I guess I should... Ah! Didn't mean to do that. I guess I should make this all the way up to where it gets the last square. You can just... I didn't look on the map preview. I actually loaded into the world and explored in editor mode to kind of see my map. Uh-oh, what did I do here? I did something wrong. That's supposed to be that. And that's supposed to be that. Okay. So those are both grabbing fuel. These... Wait, what is this? What is this? These are both grabbing fuel. Okay. And then they both need to get rid of ash. In a way that works nicely with ones from the other side. How do I do that? I mean, I could... Something like this works. And then the ones on the other side... What am I doing? This doesn't matter. I'm not gonna... I can easily rebuild this with the Mark II fluid drills by the time I need more than one row of it, I think. I'm not gonna need that much tin. So I'll just put the ash on a straight belt. It's fine. And then we'll bring it over here. Put that ash on a street belt. Street belt? Straight belt. And we need to filter it. Alright. And then we're gonna put all of that in a bunch of chests. Okay. Alright. Show's over, people. And why don't I copy this? I don't actually think this is enough. I think 8 is enough for now. I feel like... Is this right? Is this looking wrong? I guess it just looks weird that there's a gap here but not here. But there could be a gap there. And then it would still be fine. So I guess that's just the way that I set it up is weird. There we go. Now it's symmetrical. Okay. And then steam is here. Gosh, it's so annoying to need 2 different types of fuel. Okay, so there's steam. And then, yeah, now we just need this. Trains at home, baby. Oh my. This is a long belt. Oh, jeez. Alright, guys, do your thing. Alright, so we build the belt, and then we need to get fuel on the belt and steam in the pipe, and then I think we'll be good to go. Maybe I should just go a little slower and let the bots do their thing. Let the Morse code take effect. Alright, well, that was fun. Okay, so now we need some fuel, which... What is this? I think I just have extra raw coal happening over here. That one's for power, but I think one of them's doing nothing, right? Yeah, that one's doing nothing. So I certainly have some extra raw coal right here that I can just load on a belt and call it a day. And how much fuel do the fluid miners take per piece? They require 400 kilowatts, which means they'll burn through a raw coal in about 7 seconds, because it's 3 megajoules. 7.5 seconds. So 1 raw coal per second can run 7.5 thingies. So yeah, that's plenty. So here comes the tin. And we need to smelt the tin into tin plates. Maybe here. This can be tin smelting. It's so... It's so hard to get all your metals in the same spot because there's so many metals and they come from all different directions of your base and they all require different additives to actually happen usually. So it is a difficult situation. All right, we're just gonna do half of this for tin smelting for now. And then, no, I have not hooked up Steam yet. I do need to do that. And then I probably will do this. Oh, we're out of pipes. Oh, that's a building. Right. It doesn't look like it, but that little corner tells you occupado. Let's go grab some more belts. We'll finish this up and then we'll call that an episode. Bergecken, I will get your name in game once we've cut the tape on the YouTube episode. And then I need a dump chest, which is up here. For all those logs. All right. Yeah, we're so far from trains. Oh, so far from trains. I guess, what am I doing? I just want this to be... for the 10, so I don't really need a separate... I don't need to side load it onto the same belt. Alright, there's that, and then... 10 will come up. Don't need this belt with that inserter. And then we've got more ash, which I could redirect to over here. Do I get more tin or more ash? I don't even know. Probably more tin, but I actually don't know if that's for sure. Alright, so let's offload the ash. Let's do that strategy we were just talking about, where now this belt will only run if that belt has 0 ash. So this is enable ash equals 0, and this is read hold. And then this is 10. For now, I'm just putting it in a chest. I don't even know where I want it. So that's that. All right. Done. We need to get steam in there and we're good to go. How much is it? 10 units of steam per mining operation. That's actually a lot. That's actually a lot. I could hook up an overflow, but those steam engines are not connected. It's probably better to set up a couple separate boilers for now, just for the purposes of tin mining. And then, yeah. Oh, right, I don't need steam engines. Duh. I'm using the steam. Okay, so then this plus this. And then that'll be lots of ash. More ash for the ash heap. For the ash gods. But I would like it to go on the other side. The easiest way to do that. Probably like this. Maybe there's an easier way. That's actually different. That would force all of this to end up on the left side, which it may not have been doing before. But then that does use a single square less. Okay, so then I want this to come over. We're not using it anyway. And then, where's the nearest water? Nearest water is right here. Oh, I'm literally standing right next to some water. Sweet. What are those smiley faces? Smiley faces? I do not know of what you speak. Oh, these things? The robots? Oh, these? I guess those kind of look like smiley faces. Alright. And that should do it. with any luck, we have accomplished mining tin. Did I pick up the car? I did. Let's go find out. Ah, straight line, please. Thank you. I found a tree. All right. Oh, slow down. We're not mining tin. Why not? I don't know. Just because this has to be 100 before it starts? That could very well be it. I'm guessing that's what's happening here. So these don't actually pull steam in, but they have some other algorithm. Because these are filling with steam way too slow. I don't really understand how those are 50% full right now when those are 18% full. So it's not like it's acting like a pipe. It is filling faster, but it's like, it's not filling like a building would. If I had a building that had steam as an ingredient, it would be pulling steam in way faster than this. This is only pulling in like 2 steam per second from this pipeline. So I don't really know what that is all about, but it's working. That's what's important. Yeah, the pass-through buildings work kind of weirdly. I agree. Definitely agree with that. The important thing is if I have enough steam in the network, it'll fill up eventually. I don't really think the rate will be a problem. It would only matter if you were steam-starved constantly or something. I don't know. Sweet. So we've got 10, and that is the perfect place to call it an episode. An hour and 37 minutes. Oh my goodness. Tin mining and smelting. We'll at least wait to see it smelted before we finish the episode. But yeah, this has been a big project, bigger than I anticipated, and we need to filter ash. I always forget about this. Which means we now have polluted our ash dump with raw coal. Which means we've now polluted our ash output belt with raw coal. This is all a good time. It looks like a Zen garden in here. We got our white sand and our black sand. We just need to make the yin-yang shape at this point. That's actually a good idea for our Patreon garden. I maybe will do that. Oh goodness, this is such a mess. Oh goodness. How far does this go? Okay, to here. It's fixed after that. Oh man. Why did none of you yell at me? How did nobody see this? This is your job, Twitch chat. You failed me. Oh goodness. Quality control has failed. Alright, so there is pull on this belt all the way. We were busy giggling. Yes, apparently. Alright, one more there. Okay. Okay, I actually think we ended up being okay. This ash seems perfect from that point on. So we caught it early enough that nothing got truly screwed up. I just had to grab it all manually. Alright, and here comes the first 10. Perfect timing. And we should see some tin smelting beginning soon, and we should get a milestone for the first smelted tin plate. I hope. Please. And I think 10 is really bad. Isn't this like a 10 to 1? I think it's... Oh, no, it's like 40 to 4 or something. Yep, 40 to 4. Taking a full minute for crafting time. I don't understand why it's not 10 to 1 with a 15-second crafting time. I mean, the reasons for this used to deal with the 1 tick issue in mod packs. Because like 1 recipe per tick is the max speed an assembler can go, but I don't think this would ever get that fast. I don't know, maybe it would, but anyway. Here's our first 10 being smelted. Are the output inserters set correctly? These are. I don't know which output inserters you're talking about specifically. This is copied from my iron smelting. And they just filter ash and no ash, so it should work. But yeah, we'll get our first 10, and then we'll go get lead. And then I think at that point, we'll have all the things we need to start working towards circuits. In terms of like metals, I will still need to start the whole moon drop process. All right, come on now. Come on. Yay! We created the first 10 plates. Sweet. All right, well, there you go. 10 is now going, and we can craft some new buildings with that. I forget which buildings exactly need 10. Evaporators, seaweed facilities. I think that's why we need it, is for seaweed. And we need it for a few of the components in circuits and for solder. Okay, yeah, that's it. Sweet. All right, well, I'm going to call that a YouTube episode. So for those of you from future YouTube recording land, as always, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next episode.